Madam Chair. You know, I'd like to, when I look at what's happening here and some of the conversations we're having today, I see that, you know, this government has a group of friends and a group of appointees to their energy advisory groups, OSAG in particular. They have their hand-picked lawyers. They have their own advisors and authors of the Environment Minister's stone-cold science, one of my wonderful favorite terms that I love to hear, stone-cold science. And I dare say many of their own MLAs and the rest of the people who perhaps give a rat's nether region about social license will work tirelessly, endlessly, and will chain themselves to trees in defiance of the rule of law and ensure that the celebration, gloating, and claims of single-handed success of a federal pipeline approval will be very short-lived, Madam Chair. That's why the accountability here is so important. As pointed out, the Prime Minister once said, government grants permits, but only communities grant consent. And as noted by the now famous Miss Mann, who's a member of the OSAG group, there will be mass protests. There will be lawsuits, Madam Chair. So where is this approval going? Is this actually going to get us to Tidewater? Is this going to get Alberta products and oil to Tidewater? Let me point out, a permit was issued approving Enbridge's Northern Gateway Pipeline over 2 years ago. This is again by claims from Ms. Mann, and no shovel has ever broken ground. You know what, Madam Chair? The rule of law means nothing. Social license means nothing to the people who will oppose this in defiance of what's best for Canada and best for Alberta. Your own hand-picked champions plan to openly defy the laws of this land. Thumb their noses at democratically elected legislators like yourselves and tell Alberta where to go with their social license. Mark my words and make no mistake that these are the vehement, frothing naysayers that even you and your brethren of the LEAP Manifesto are ill-equipped to convince that access to Tidewater for Alberta oil or gas is good for Alberta, good for British Columbia, or good for Canada. It's just not going to happen with the attitude we see from the people that are pushing that agenda. Their claim, 100 people were already arrested, grandmothers, academics, priests, students, and First Nation leaders. Line them up. They're all your friends. Maybe you need to get on the phone and tell them that there's a protest coming. You might want to be there. Get the placards out. You might even remind some of your members, get your placards out, guys. This is placard season. There are already 7 legal challenges to the pipeline before the courts, and more are predicted. Wow. Gee, I think there's some lawyers in BC that are pretty good on this stuff, isn't there? Some hand-picked lawyers. I'll bet you that same law firm that you've selected to help you with the PPAs is going to be really busy in British Columbia, making more millions of dollars on the backs of taxpayers, Madam Chair. Oh, by the way, Canadian law requires the protection of endangered species and restoration of their habitat. Oh, we're going to use that. We're going to chain ourselves to trees to do that. But nobody thinks about it's appropriate to apply the same rule to thousands of tankers approaching our east coast and heading up to St. Lawrence with foreign unethical oil on it, Madam Chair. Wow. Let's stop that Alberta oil from getting to market. Oh, granting a permit to build this pipeline will not end this issue. It will only be the beginning of a long and drawn-out fight. Oh, Ms. Mann again. Wow. She seems to be popping up here. Thanks to the friends of this government, Madam Chair, from coast to coast. Oh, and she also says, and the real tragedy is that this issue keeps us looking backward. Oh, sounds like Alberta, to the extraction economy that was. Oh, I guess that means that we're dead here in Alberta. The economy's done, isn't it? Instead of forward to the renewable energy economy that is forming, that is going to create such vibrancy in the Alberta economy and create jobs out in those coal mining towns and put all those oil and gas workers back into work. No, actually, they're going to be putting up solar panels and wind farms, aren't they? Oh yeah, we're going to be farming wind from now on, and that's going to give us lots of business, except all the farmers are going to lose their oil and gas jobs, and we're going to replace that with new economy, so the small-owned farms are going to be gone. This, my friends, is the economy of this government. this Minister of Environment and Parks, this Energy Minister, this Premier, and fully consistent with what we have now become to know and loathe, the NDP worldview, Madam Chair, that is killing the province that I love. Support this amendment, support accountability, and you know what? Be honest with yourselves and make sure that what you're saying and what you're gloating on today are not words that you will eat tomorrow. Thank you.